Cine letter image, as well as Soldier 11's team building for the entire 1.x series. Hello everybody, it is me, the guy who disappears for 2 months and doesn't upload. That is completely my fault, I'm sorry, Overwatch is a bad addiction. We're going to talk about team building today. I was going to talk about the story for Soldier 11, but that really isn't that relevant because she only appears like 4 or 5 times in the events. It's not that great. But I'm just kind of here to document every big change that has happened to the Soldier 11 team, as well as a bit of disset changes over time. But before we get into that, obviously I have to plug the Discord server. Please join Glazewood. We need more Glazers here. I have not uploaded in 20 million years. Perchance a giveaway is on the horizon, but will that happen? I honestly don't know myself. However, I also have to thank the server Glazers for sticking around, especially given the 2 months of disappearance for me. That's my bad. But thank you to Alexio, Eric, Baku, GFighter98, Cine, The Burner Boy, Echoing, Game Heat, Gotaru, Matt, King Murder, Crate, Oreo, Say Less, and Soldier 11 Lover. Thank you guys for sticking around, I really appreciate it. And now, let's actually get into this content, shall we? So, starting in the 1.0 version, we have 4 fire units in the game. One of them is Ben, the other 3 are gonna be on the same team. So we're left with Soldier 11, Kaleda, and Lucy. Now, if you didn't notice, only one of these characters actually synergizes well with Soldier 11, while the other 2 are actually having a very strange competition where they see who has the worst dub voice actor change. However, this team did function at least somewhat well at the start of the game. I mean, this is when the propaganda of using Inferno Metal as a good disc set was still around. Those who have reading comprehension abilities probably saw Woodpecker and then realized that, oh hey, that's a lot of attack that I get, and I get a consistency upgrade for my Soldier 11 with Inferno Metal. This will be explained much later, do not worry. But I mean, this team is pretty simple. Soldier 11 wants to on-field with the Lucy buff, but then Kaleda also can stun the enemy, which also leads to a very strange balance in between things, like why exactly is my Kaleda trying to take away time from my Soldier 11, or is my Soldier 11 taking away field time from my Kaleda? If you're only using EX Special on Kaleda, I guess it works out pretty well, but then you're kind of just missing out on half of her kit. Blah blah blah, Kaleda is a very strange unit and doesn't synergize the best with Soldier 11. This team was decent considering that this is all you had to work with. Also, the chance of you having a M6 Lucy was very low since it was 1.0, but it does work out at least somewhat in Lucy's favor because it's an off-field buff. Very solid, very good to have around, and that's honestly about it. Everyone would just be running 4-piece Inferno Metal, 2-piece Woodpecker because Branch didn't exist, and also people didn't know better. I was in that group, and I have, spent quite a bit of battery charge on that, and that's on me entirely because my account is not really bricked. It's like a wall. The bricks are being added up, and eventually we will have the wall of ultimate brickage, okay? With the end of the 1.0 version, we then go to 1.1, where we actually are not going to 1.1, we're going to skip 1.1 because nothing gets changed. We then go to 1.2, however, where we get introduced to Caesar and Bernice. Now, here are 2 different schools of thought. You can play Caesar, who will replace Kaleda because she is a hybrid stunner / supporter, which is amazing, and also because her kit is just really good for Soldier 11. Or you can play a very strange variation where you just run Bernice with Soldier 11 to maintain the uptime of Inferno Metal. Now, one of them is very gimmicky, obviously, because you're just going to be forcing the Inferno Metal crit rate proc to just be on forever, but you're not getting any other amplified damage, you're just becoming more consistent. While Caesar will just amp all of your damage. I mean, there's a lot of attack that you get from that shield. And then, of course, there is the defense shred as well as the CC ability of Caesar's held attack. It is honestly one of the better parts of her kit, probably undervalued by people who don't have the ability to read, such as I, obviously. I don't think I even mentioned it in my Caesar video that I made a while ago, but it's a very good part of her kit and can solve Soldier 11's lack of CC ability. I mean, this team works a lot better because now you have 2 supports that are off-fielders, providing really solid buffs for Soldier 11, quite a bit of attack as well as the depth shred. I mean, an incredible combination, and we're truly starting to work towards really good teammates for Soldier 11. I kind of grant this team a solid 6 out of 10, mainly because, I mean, you have 2 off-fielders, really good, really big damage, but there isn't a, premium unit that can replace Lucy yet. Wait a minute, is that the 1.3 sign to come in on the screen? Good heavens me, it's 1.3. And guess who's been added? Not just Yanagi, who I low-key regret not getting. We get access to Lighter. Lighter is probably one of the best characters to be added to this game, especially if you are an ice enjoyer or a fire enjoyer. One reason why this is really huge for Soldier 11 is because it changes the way you can build her kit entirely. I'll elaborate a little bit later on the disc set changes, but for now we just have to compare Woodpecker and Inferno Metal. Fire damage bonus and crit rate is not that great because it's not really a damage amp. Woodpecker provides a small amount of crit rate, but gives a very large, if you can access it at least, attack percent bonus, which scales based off of in-combat attack. That can be insanely good, especially if you pair it with something like the Brimstone. The reason why I bring this up is because the addition of Lighter allows you to forgo the small fire damage bonus that you get from running 2-piece Inferno Metal, and instead you can switch up your discs all over the place. No more 4-piece Inferno Metal, switch that thing to 4-piece Woodpecker. You can also then change your disc 5 to attack or pen ratio being preferred, and hopefully you're able to find enough attack substats to reach 30k attack. The main reason for this is because Lighter is able to give you 75% fire damage bonus as well as ice damage bonus if you're running a different character, because diminishing returns exist if you overload one stat. You want to distribute it all over the place. Get some pen ratio, get some attack, but do not dump it all into like 130% fire damage bonus. That would be a little much and a little excessive. I mean, this team itself is really solid. Soldier 11, Lighter, and Caesar. I mean, I'll talk a little bit more about Lighter here just for a bit. His kit is super easy to understand, and honestly, it's so strong given that he is just a 1.3 character. He's going to be around for a very, very long time, and honestly, we'll probably see a second version of him come out in the future, just because more characters will probably want to use a buff that is relatively similar to him. Honestly, I don't think a lot of people will be able to match his kit in terms of design, mainly because he just has so much going for him. I mean, he has a really solid stun stat himself on like all of his attacks. He has res shred, he has bonus damage on his punches. He then also can extend stun durations by 3 seconds, which is incredible. Overall, I mean, this guy is just an insanely powerful character, and if we see someone else, you know, kind of try and take his spot, they'll have an excessively large kit as well. So I look forward to seeing what happens on that day. Maybe they're more general instead of being a fire and ice unit, but that's all I have to say for the Lighter guy. Actually, no, I do have one more thing. Alex Lee was a great casting for this character. He's very funny, very chill, very cool. And with the end of 1.3, we must go to 1.4, where we will actually not be doing anything in 1.4 and skipping to 1.5. 1.5 was the addition of many big things. Evelyn, you know, to contest Soldier 11 in some ways that they're not real to me personally. I mean, obviously, the Heartstring Nocturne, which is Evelyn's signature engine, was also added, something that I have been using quite a bit as of late, as well as the Hydrogen Bomb support unit, the one and only Astra Yao. You see, Astra is basically Thanos, if you think about it. Like, I don't know if the mic can pick it up, but like, every other support in the game just gone forever, basically. Caesar gets outclassed immediately by Astra, which honestly is not a bad thing, because now you have a Caesar which you can put on any other team, and I think that's really solid. However, Astra Yao gets access to the disc drive Astral Voice. I mean, I'll put it up here. TLDR, this is 24% bonus damage on every single one of your characters for basically the entire time that Astra Yao is active, which you literally just have to press E once, and that's it. The team ends up turning into a bit of a two-man show with only your main attacker and then your other supporting unit. And then Astra just stays on field, but she's not really playable because she allows you to just quick assist between characters. I mean, this is just ridiculous, I have to say. She does so much for your team. It is actually disgusting. Evelyn was made to capitalize off of Astra Yao's bonuses, and I mean, that is insane how they just decided, you know what? Free chain attacks for your whole team. I think it's really nice to have, but also she has healing. Not only did she just Thanos snap a lot of the damage amping supports in the game, she also took Rocketboo's job. Like, are we serious? But I mean, Astra Yao doesn't really need that much extra like information given to her. She's an incredibly strong support unit that just gives you so much free damage, and she is basically the best support unit in the game, kind of hands down. Like, I mean, obviously there's Lighter, who is a stun support, but a pure support like Astra Yao, honestly, uncontested, the strongest support at this very moment at the end of Season 0. But that's actually about it for 1.5. Now when we go to 1.6, things get a little different. We then have the addition of Soldier Zero, Envy, and Trigger, who is very solid. I mean, off-field stun build-up. She's able to let Soldier 11 go crazy on the sticks. However, her damage amping is not as good as Astra Yao, which is really unfortunate because I think this team comp is actually really enjoyable. It's the only reason why I ended up pulling Trigger and tried to pull for her Wenjin. I failed horrendously, I'm sorry. So my Trigger is kind of chungus right now. I mean, look at that crit ratio. But it is what it is, and I think that this team is really cool. I love running this canonical gaming team. However, a lot of people may not say that it's the best thing to have. And you know what? I have no counter opinions to this, because Astra Yao is just too powerful. And I mean, Lighter is also not going to be moving ever from Soldier 11. I mean, like, Soldier 11 is literally held up a tier above Grace just because Lighter exists. I don't understand how this happens, but W Lighter, I suppose. Beyond that, however, there's not a lot else to add. Trigger is a very fun unit to use, but she's just not as strong as Asher Yao, unfortunately. Ends up being one of the situations, would you like $1 or $2? The team is insanely fun to play, but it is not nearly as effective. So it is your choice at the end of the day. You have free will. I cast it upon thee. And unfortunately, that is actually going to be the end of the Soldier 11 updates for the 1.x series. 1.7 just brought Hugo and Vivian, who do not really have any synergy with Soldier 11 at all. So that'll actually be the end of this video. It has been quite a while. I'm very sorry for the delay on making this video. I got chronically addicted to Overwatch again, so that's on me, and I'm sorry. I will be trying to make an upload very quickly after 2.0 comes out, because I will be getting M2 Soldier 11 and R3 Brimstone. Hopefully I can get things organized, perchance to do even a giveaway, so I will let you guys know if you join the Discord server, or I'll announce it here as well. Thank you again so much for watching. It's been a while. I'm very sorry for those who are returning. I appreciate you guys for sticking around. And if you're new here, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, trash talk me in the comments, my gameplay being terrible, etc, etc. Enjoy. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.